And I'm like, you know what? This is the time to do what we know what to do. I am not going to use the white Magneto pre-fight. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, we are going to be going over Wars 11 and 12. At some point in my alliance, this season was actually the 3rd ranked in Masters. We have been on a terrible losing streak. And we're now at the point where we needed to win either War 11 or 12 to stay in Masters. We had a shot to win 10, did not get it done. We're going into 11, so obviously I want to get these solos done. This War 11, was over a weekend. They know I'm very busy, the planners, but still got some tough fights. I told them I could take them. We're going in against this Encroaching stun. Now, I'm very experienced at fighting against Weapon X with my Archangel. I'm not worried about the Encroaching stun at all. In fact, I have to admit, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm trying to break my record. In a previous war, I killed a Weapon X on a relatively tough node for him in 23 seconds. I'm really excited. I don't know for a fact if we're going to break those records today in this video, but I know we're going to get really close. So, all right, we're going in against Encroaching stun. We've got the Stupefy here. Basically, if for some reason I do not have 3 neurotoxins up, because my Archangel is a high enough sig to turn off the node at 3 neuros, I need to make sure I throw a special. Like I said, though, I'm going for speed here. Let's get this guy down, break that record of 23 seconds. Here we go. All right, now, I do not believe, so this bought some time here, right? Like, that took 7 seconds right away. I think that's gonna hurt us for breaking the record. I do not have the white Magneto pre-fight on. I don't actually like it, and it's gonna come up later in this video because it pushes so far back. Against Weapon X, it's not as big of a deal because he's not going to evade. But you see here, we've got 5 neurotoxins on. I did not need to throw this special, but hey, why not? Why not get it up to 7? This guy is dust, he is down. That was 32 seconds. That was 32 seconds, so about 9 more, 31, so 8, that was close, it was impressive. But Archangel stacking those neuros and the poisons and the bleeds and all that wonderful stuff. It is what it is, it's a shame. But here we go. Now we're going again. This has redoubled determination. But again, Archangel's going to turn the node off at some point. I'm going to want to be, if I can get the neuros up. I don't recall if I did or not. This was after a very long day hanging out with my family and things like that. But here we go. I'm keeping an eye on the redoubled determination. But we've got 3 neuros up. I've got my 6 weaknesses. And again, with Archangel, we got to this point this season. He was the absolute MVP for me of my season. I did have 4 deaths. 1 was to a bug. I will not let that go in the first half of the season. And then, well, I don't want to spoil this video, but the second half of the season, there was absolutely no deaths for me. I did feel really good because I got some fights I knew my BG had some trouble with before that a rank 3 Archangel really does solve. In particular, those Weapon X. So it felt good to be an asset to my BG as we were trying so hard to solidify Masters there. That fight's down. Now this fight's a little bit more interesting here. Going with this buff and balance weakness, rich get richer, Venom. I'm bringing in Doom. Doom's amazing for this fight for a couple reasons. One, we're going to be able to nullify those buffs. We're going to be able to take care of the power very early on, right, with Doom, doing Doom cycle, Doom-like things. And then Doom being Doom, if you make a mistake, he is tanky as heck, right? So I felt like if somehow I did get Venom to his SP2, what I was going to do is I'm not going to try to evade it. I'm just going to block those first 2 hits and then back out. It feels very similar to me, like evading Spider-Man, OG Spider-Man's SP1, right? You block those first 2 hits. I do kind of pay attention to a bit of a sound, some advice I got from a longtime buddy, Battery, and then I back out. But Venom, I don't pay attention to sounds, just kind of the animations. So we're just going to go in here. I'm going to kind of doom it up here. I've got the stagger on. And so now we've got the bar power. Looks like I said, it was a long day. We'd been out all day. And so I'm pretty sure I make a mistake somewhere in this fight. But we're doing Doom things here. Not sure why I didn't. Oh, I wanted to see if I could get him back in. So I'm going to be throwing the SP3. I should throw it. There we go. So now I'm going to go. Oh, this is where the mistake is. Pretty sure. I'm going to go heavy, heavy, or medium, medium, light, 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 medium, medium. And I think that's actually going to end up pushing him to his SP3, or it's going to push me to my SP2. Let's see here. Yeah, so it pushes me to my SP2. I didn't really account for Venom and all his buffs and how that was going to work out very well. And then Doom just basically told Venom, don't throw your SP3, I guess. And Doom being Doom, it worked out. I saw that work out for my buddy B Manny once, not that long ago. And I guess it's just something you do with Doom, and the AI listens to you. This was the fight that I was the most concerned about. Like I said, it had been a long day. I have a lot of experience fighting Weapon X. I was not concerned about Doom versus Venom just because of Doom and what he can do and his tankiness and the power control, everything we just saw. This one worried me a little bit because Spider-Ham can evade, and if he evades, once he gets to 6 spider nonsense, then he has that possibility of evading. He evades, he's going to go unblockable. It's going to cause some real problems for me. Archangel will eventually shut this node off. There will be some big power gains, so it's going to be a bit of a race of which can happen first. Can I get the Archangel to control it with the Neuros, or is there going to be a power gain first? Additionally, we decided I should use the White Magneto pre-fight just to make sure the parries land. The concern for me is if I don't get the heavy off quickly enough, Spider-Ham could evade that third and final hit of the heavy. So let's go ahead and see how it went. I know what the end result is, but like I said, this was this weekend, so there's a little bit of concern here. But we've got kinetic transference and powerful from afar. If given enough time or proper RNG, and we are helped by the ability accuracy plus ability accuracy of the White Magneto, there is synergy, right, with Metal Champions, Archangel being Metal. But you see here, we're not having great luck turning these into Neuros, but now we do. Now we've got 2. And let's see if we, no, so I just went ahead and pushed him red. I did use an invulnerability boost. I still had it on. So I knew that if I just push him to the SP3, I'm not gonna take any damage from it. Just get this fight over with. If we win, we make masters, right? This is not the time to be thrifty with my gray boosts. And you see the damage is done. We've won the fight. It's over. Felt good. You know, this is what I talked about at length. For those of you who've seen my war videos before, know the history. Like, I needed to find a place where they could really work with my schedule. And then Savage Squad has been fantastic at that, while still having an amazing BG and an amazing alliance. Now, unfortunately, we did lose that war, as you just saw, which meant all the pressure came down to this last war against Paulo. We had to win, and from what we could tell, so did they. So did they. So everyone was going to be doing their absolute best. Let's dive into this war. There's some pretty cool fights. It is a lot of Archangel, which I love, which means I'm still going to be trying to break that record of 23 seconds. I know I get pretty close in this one. All right, so as I've been talking about, and I've said in a couple of my war videos, and I've talked to my buddy DLL, who also happens to be the war planner for my VG, I don't really like the White Magneto pre-fight. I know in some fights it's really necessary and it's really helpful in making it safer, but I just don't enjoy it. In fact, it took me a long time to get used to using it against Hitmonkey. And I'm like, you know what? This is the time to do what we know what to do. I am not going to use the White Magneto pre-fight. None of the guys know that I did not use it. I did not tell any of them. I just kind of went on my own because I knew I could handle it. But let's see what happens. So we got this last heavy down. Now, so I know I'm going to need to reparry here. So everything's fine. So far, so good. As you're going to need to repair again, right? Because he's got that phase. But then, I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to attack into him, right? Because he could still evade. The shrug was taken care of, but the evade still happened. Made me sweat a little bit. Fortunately, I really do know how to take Hitmonkey with Archangel. I became very comfortable with this fight without the White Magneto pre-fight. I do believe I have another small slip up somewhere around here. And I will say that if I had the White Magneto pre-fight, I would, this fight would be done by now. There you go. There you saw part of the issue, right? Of making sure was the parry stuck, and it did because of the bleeds, but it wasn't a certainty. And so I was delayed in my reactions. And my motivation, guys, was to hold the White Magneto pre-fight in case someone else needed it. I knew I could get this fight down, no problem. I didn't mind spending a potion or two to heal back up if I needed to. And I was hoping that I could use that pre-fight to help someone else with maybe a bit tougher of a fight where they could use that attack boost or something like that. So now we're going to go into this MCoC. And I'm still not going to use the pre-fight. I wasn't asked to use it. It's not what I would normally use, but I'm going to need to heal up. Like I said, this was a price I was very happy to pay for us to make Masters. And really the difference in rewards between P1 and Masters is not significant. In fact, some people prefer Platinum 1 because you get the Tier 2 Alpha from it. But I think there was some notoriety, and there are a ton of Masters level players. In fact, I believe the whole alliance is in SSX1, but there are some truly phenomenal players too. And so I just wanted to do my best for them and all the people who plan our wars and all that. So we've got this Strike Counter Fury. I'm going to kind of play the node, but really what I'm going to do here, although MCoC has a decent chunk of health, I'm just going to do my best, get him over the bar of power, right? So this is going to be truly parry heavy because I don't want to get auto blocked. Truly going to be power, parry heavy, get him over a bar of power, and then bait the SP1. You'll see I will try to play the node a little bit like you saw right there. Then I'm like, I'm getting auto blocked. What am I doing? Like, don't worry about the node too much because Archangel is going to handle this. I don't mind healing up a little bit if I need to. I don't need to worry about an evade or anything like that. So just parry, as you can see here, and we'll be fine. Just evade the SP1s. No big deal. The fight's going down smoothly. I did choose to throw my SP1 there because he was stunned. I didn't want to go in and start comboing because he could parry that or block that anyways. So yeah, and we're just going to let him die out here. We've got the degen from the node there as a brute force. But again, like this wasn't the war to be concerned about a potion or two. So we've got that down. And then we're going to move on to what we thought was going to be my toughest fight of the war here against this. No. I have the fights backwards. So we're going to do this a little bit backwards. It's not that big of a deal. So this was a pretty interesting fight, right? You can see I am huge boosted. And I use the 6-hour ones because of what will be the toughest fight, but we'll take a look at that later. I'm going up against this Rage. Iron Man Infinity War. Now it was complicated because I had these huge boosts. And these are 6-hour boosts. It's just the way the timing worked out when people are available. I do not want to hit him and cause enough damage in a single hit for him to trigger the Rage. I am going to use my pre-fight. I talked with DLL and we kind of came up with the strategy of I'm not even going to heavy. Iron Man Infinity War does do some energy damage. I'm going to get my smolders up enough with using the Nova Flame. I'm going to do plenty of damage. So I'm just going to parry if I can. I need to remember to re-parry. And then I'm going to medium and then light. And then just depending on how the fight's going, I'm going to land between 1 and 2 or 3 lights. Back up, evade SP1s. That's going to be the plan. Now you're going to see something here. I did use invulnerability just in case, because like, what if that first medium, what if I out of muscle memory heavy? Who knows? Go ahead and use it. We need this win. This isn't the war to be thrifty. And you're going to see, I was paying so much attention here to not triggering Rage, I completely forget that I need to re-parry. So land the first parry, no problem, only did a couple lights. Then I forget about re-parry. Fortunately, I had used the indestructible. That wouldn't have killed me anyways, but I mean, I didn't really want to lose a lot of life. And then now it's just going to be about, all right, how many lights can I feel comfortable landing while still making sure I get out of the way in plenty of time for this SP1, right? It isn't blockable, so you want to make sure you get the heck out of dodge. Land these re-parries, punish that heavy, right? I don't want to let him finish his heavy animation because then he's really going to start to back me up into the corner where I don't want to be. Re-parry. Fortunately, I've gotten quite comfortable with the re-parry tactic, and this fight's over. This is where now that I've got the rhythm, I know I'm going to land 1 to 2 lights, that I can handle this Infinity War. And then here I do land the heavy because again, he's below I think it's 15% health, right? And his chance to auto block and things like that. So at that point, I did have the heavies ready to go and reserved to finish him off because he's not going to auto block those heavies. So that fight went really well. I was really happy with it. The fight before it is what we think will be the most difficult, but I'll show that here in a few minutes here. So now just going in, I am going to use the White Magneto pre-fight. I have the other 2 saved in case someone else needs to use them. Just use it again in case Sparky here or Stealthy just gets a little too wily on me. He decides to use his evade when he shouldn't. I mean, he can do some damage if something goes wrong. So we're going to be using the White Magneto pre-fight and landing these heavies. This one was close. Now, remember, the record was 23 seconds. I know we're not going to break it, but man, are we going to get close. Look at this. I mean, he is just going down. We haven't even had that amazing of neurotoxin luck, but we've got all those poisons and the bleed. I did a little fancy little thing there. No, that was 36. That was 36. So we were close. We were close. But Stealthy has a lot less life than Weapon X does. So the Weapon X is the record for me for the season. And then I believe I added in here what was going to be the toughest fight against that Elsa. As you can see, there's not a ton left in this video, so you know that this isn't going to be long. We really felt like this was going to be my toughest fight, mainly because it's Mixed Master. I should be using the White Magneto pre-fight because there is a very small chance if you stun her at the wrong time, she can shrug that. That could cause a problem, or just by the way Mixed Master works, especially if you're not used to taking this fight, you may have muscle memory take over, you start comboing. I am just going to heavy, and then if I needed to use combos, I was going to medium light back out into a parry heavy. I wasn't even going to try to evade the specials because just get this fight done, move on. That is the plan. Now let's check it out. Let's see how this goes. She's going to get into her SP1 pretty quickly here. And this is why I was boosted so huge for the Iron Man Infinity War fight, even though I wouldn't really normally want to be boosted like that for a Rage fight. Use the invulnerability. Again, that was mainly for the Iron Man Infinity War fight, as you saw. And here we go. Archangel's an absolute beast. All right, as you can see, we're not exactly having amazing RNG here. It's starting to kick in. We've got 4 bleeds. The neuros are now doing their job. And as I said, I wasn't even going to try to evade. We'll evade her SP1. We got it down there. And 31 seconds. So 31 seconds left. About 28 seconds to get down what's supposed to be a pretty tough fight. I did wonder about the placement, right? Because the node really is trying to make it so that you have muscle memory kick in and you're comboing. So having an opponent that you could bleed and poison means Archangel can come in, and he can do more than parry heavy, but being able to parry heavy with him creates fights like you're seeing right now. But these guys obviously know what they're doing. Paulo's obviously a very skilled alliance, so they knew what they were doing, and it just is what it is. So I was happy to take that fight and get these. Well, this was 5 fights down, solo all of them for my alliance, and what was a huge war for us. But here are the end results. We lost again. And you know, the thing of it is it just really fits with how, unfortunately, our season went. We had a war where we only died 4 times, and we ended up tying that war, which ends up basically being the exact same as a loss. But you know what? We played by the exact same rules as everybody else. We had some really wonderful performances. The skill is clearly high. The planning is dedicated and efficient and wonderful. And sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Thank you to guys we've seen their names up here before, right? Robbie, Reported, Jay Will, right? Agent Sensation, The Jolly. I know I'm missing some other folks, but there was some consistent MVPs, DLL, right? Like some very consistent MVPs in SSX1, and then a ton of players who are excellent too. They just didn't get the MVP rating by the way Kabam does it. Congratulations to Paulo, La Casa de Palomas, right? Congratulations to them. I believe they did end up making Masters. And unfortunately, this means that my alliance did not. We fought hard, we fought well. It just did not go our way in the end, but I'm very proud of the effort that we put forth and the planning. And I really appreciate all the guys in that alliance and letting me play alongside them. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I will do an Alliance War opening. It'll probably come out in a day or 2 after this. And we'll have some fun and kind of talk about what I'm doing and why I'm either opening or not opening and where I'm heading with my account. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.